Oh,
3.
well, Nathan's got 2 minutes to set you both up in the stream.
Hey, Rich.
How you doing?
Yep.
I can hear whoever just said, "Can you hear me?"
All right.
All right, that does look good.
2 Robs.
Hang on. Can I put you on pause here?
Yeah, sure, mate. Go for it.
I need to take a work call real quick here.
Oh, go for it. Yeah, no, I'll get you in there.
Sorry.
It's fine. And we can hear you. It's all good.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes, I am multitasking.
Have you got a different camera?
He's probably
different
riding at the same time. He's running a business, doing a podcast, and doing a ride at the same time. We're riding up the Alps or something as well.
Okay.
Yeah, I just want to point out that I'm just a little bit shady this morning here. Oh, how have I messed this up? Oh, this is not
mess what up.
Names.
Okay.
Roy.
We're all going to be Roy.
Yeah,
everyone's right.
I'm Roy, and so is my wife.
I'm Brian, and so's my wife. Oh, okay, we've all watched.
I've already cracked that joke. This is not good.
You're doing great, Nathan. Don't worry.
No,
okay, I'm back.
Hey, man.
See if I knew I'd mess this up. I knew it.
You're right. You're right. It's fine.
No,
it's fine.
It's not because I'm gonna have to just delete. Okay, for K screen, you and me. Yeah, it's fine. I'll have to do.
Oh, I can see myself in Roy's computer.
Amazing. Yeah.
Like podcast inception.
Yes. I muted it because I was getting echoes.
Shit.
Oh, right, yeah.
Oh, no. I just realized. Sorry, guys. I just realized that I'm showing us. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to the show. In this week's episode, we catch up with our very first guest, Roy Imahara. We also have Rich Vale joining us. He has an exciting FRR announcement. I'm going to check out some Zwift Labs and the Beat the Bot event. And Rob is going to have a look at the new June ZRacing series. Don't forget, we are live on YouTube. If you listen to us on your favorite podcasting platform, thank you very much. Come over, join us on YouTube, and you can join in live in the chat. We try and answer lots of people's questions and comments and observations and suggestions and all these sorts of things. This is episode 51, I think it is, Rob, isn't it? Rob, how are you? Welcome to the show. This is Rob, Zwifty Zwifter Bane. Thank you very much, as always. How have you been?
I'm super duper, thanks. I've been having loads of fun racing. I did my charity ride. I'm hearing loads of noise, I think, from Roy.
It might be, actually, yeah.
There we go. You, Roy.
Thank you, Roy.
Yeah, they're all good. And I've become like a breakaway expert. I like just every race now, pretty much, try breakaway. Usually doesn't work, but at least give it a shot. Have a bit of fun.
I have noticed that
5 versus 5 race.
I've seen a few of the park perimeter races that you've done, and you've certainly been doing the old breakaway, which I just find amazing because I'm barely just staying up with the group. But you've been kicking around.
It does take a bit of getting used to, but on those lumpy routes, it really depends on who you're up against. It makes all the difference. If you're in a small group and you're better than them, you've got more power than them, then it works. If you're against a big group or you haven't got more power than them, it doesn't.
Yeah, so that's me. Yeah, I gotcha. Yeah, no, I hear what you're saying. But it has been.
You must be towards the top of the category.
I am. But I don't know. It's just been weird. You know what I've been looking forward to? I've been looking forward to a new FRR series. And I've been told that there's a new one coming up. So for those that are in the chat, we've got Rich is joining us. As I said, he has an announcement. So that's going to be pretty fantastic. From what I hear, it's actually pretty bloody amazing. I know I don't try to swear too much on the show, but it's fucking unreal. So we're going to have a chat about that, and Roy is going to give us his thoughts on FRR because he's a bit of a veteran as well. This week though, I have been. Can you hear Rich laughing?
I can hear Rich laughing. I'm not sure if the audience can.
No, they can't. Yeah, so this week's been amazing. It's been amazing. It's been amazing because I'm moving studios. We're moving locations. I've got a new studio being lined up, which is going to be unreal because it's not going to be in the cold winter mornings outside in my outside studio. It's going to be inside where it's going to be warm and nice and cozy and all these sorts of things. So that's going to be coming up, but it's going to be tricky because for the next couple of weeks, we're going to be doing the relocation stuff. So that's going to be a bit of fun.
We might not be able to make it.
Yeah, it's going to be a tough couple of weeks. I've got to be honest, Rob. Yep, it's going to be a tough couple of weeks.
Yeah, understandable.
But we'll see how we go. We'll push through it. We also, just on a side note, we've also got the possibility of doing a collaboration with another podcast. Now, I don't know if you guys have seen those in the chat. Oh, there's Ryan. Hey, Ryan, how are you going, buddy? I don't know if you guys have seen, there's another podcast called the Spincast Podcast or the Spincast Show, and I'll put a link to their YouTube channel in the description below. So we've been having a chat with those guys, and they do a really similar thing to us, which is pretty fantastic, actually. And so we're going to have.
They seem to know loads about biking and stuff.
I know, right? They're really
how all the bike stuff goes. Ooh.
Yeah, all the bike stuff, all the things that go around. Is that what you're getting at?
Yeah.
So yeah, look for that in the next few. Well, probably in July. I think we're looking to do something there. So we're going to see how that goes. But what I wanted to do though was I did want to talk about, and I've got it here, is Rob. So last week you did the kilometers for kiddos.
I did. That
event.
Yeah, I did a nice 3-hour slot. Went up the Alp and raised some money and sang some songs and rinsed some Aussies. It was good.
Yeah. No, you did me a treat actually. So you guys should be able to hear that in the stream there. So Rob jumped on. He was on Twitch. Now, if you do go to Rob's channel on Twitch, you can watch the entire 3 hours. So that's all up there. And I think, correct me if I'm wrong, Rob, but you can still donate to the Kilometers for Kiddos. Is that right?
Yeah, you can. I'll put the QR code on the screen there. It's over there. It's over.
Will still work?
Okay, sorry about that.
I can't work out which side it's on. The QR code still works, so you could just scan that and it'll take you to.
You can get in there.
So you can make a donation to St Jude's Children's Hospital.
Yep.
And it's a great charity. Researches children's cancers, and yeah. Sorry, that's really loud for me.
No, I've just dialed it down a little bit.
It's still open and it was good fun. And I got up the Alp mainly thanks to your help. You kept giving me Captain Invincibility.
Mate,
so
I'm there
people
for you.
were trying to turn
that.
me around, but they weren't allowed to because you
they couldn't do
donated
it.
so much money.
Yep. Now it does turn out, for those that are watching the show, it does turn out that it was in US dollars, and I didn't quite realize that. So I donated. I had like a budget in mind, and I donated so much more than that. But it did help that I was like 3 shades to the wind by the time I joined the show. I joined your stream, and I kept on the juice and went, oh yeah, I'll just send him up the mountain again, and yeah, so it was great fun.
Well, it was much appreciated, and I'm sure the kids will appreciate it too.
And that's the big thing. Yeah, exactly. So it's fantastic, and I think Rob, we've already talked about the interview you did with thank you for telling me his name. It was.
Sorry, I was just hearing myself singing. What were you asking?
What's the name?
Generally Lost.
Thank you. Yes, I don't know why I can't remember his name, but so there's the full link, the link to the interview that Rob did with him and St Jude's and the charity. So go and check that out. And if you got a spare bit of cash in your go and throw it that way because it's such a good cause. But there was a really good section of that video that I just couldn't find. But I think if you remember hard enough, you'll be able to remind us what it was that I got you to do.
I think somebody donated some money to make me say the words that Nathan Krake is the most knowledgeable e-racer and also greatest pronunciation expert in the world, or something similar.
Correct. I think that was right. Yeah. Now I don't know who would have done that.
No, but it was very nice of them. It was a nice donation.
It was great to hear.
I was happy to say those words.
Yeah.
Being so true anyway.
That's right. I mean, they were coming from your heart, weren't they?
Oh yeah. Yeah, I would have said it at any stage. I probably would have said it naturally anyway, without anyone doing it.
Well, yeah, I mean, you normally do when you're just talking normally. But no, fantastic, and it was fun to watch, and to see people push you up and down the mountain was pretty good. Now, the next thing I want to talk about was the Zwift Labs. So we talked about this last week.
Oh yeah.
So Zwift have announced a new club called Zwift Labs, and they are going to use this as a vehicle for launching, testing events. I guess it kind of replaces the whole Future Works thing that they used to have, where they can sort of play with a few different concepts or a few different events, and that aren't the regular kind of thing that they do. And so it's called Zwift Labs. You can go along. You can. Oh, you finished. There we go.
Sorry, could you stop my video?
Yeah. No. I've got you there. There we go. Yeah, and so you can jump in there and join the events and also chat and provide your feedback. Now, so the one shit thing is that it's through the companion app, which means you can't share a link, and you've got like a limitation of, I think, 500 characters to feedback your feedback. So, but it has been pretty well received. There's been lots of comments, lots of people joining it. And hey, Georg, how are you? Just saw you there, and Marky Mark. How you going, buddy? And Ginger's there as well. Hey, Ginger. And so you can join in there. Now, I did that race, and it's really similar. I don't know if Rob, you would remember. There was a race series that I used to do a lot, and it's still on at the moment, that AHDR would put on a Thursday, called the Chop. Now, in Australian terms, you're in the chop, you're in the mix, you're fighting, you're racing.
Oh, is that what it means?
Yeah. And so in the chop was a what do they call it? Not a. I keep saying I want to say margin, but it's not margin. It's a chase. It's a chase race basically, and this is what the beat the bots is as well. So it was it's a chase race where the humans are in pen A and they set out, and then 14 minutes later, the bots in pen B set out and try and chase the humans. Now, in itself is a pretty, common race strategy, and but in this case, though, they've got bots that are set to 420 watts. And here we go. I found it. So the bots, it was interesting because the bots are set to 420 watts. And so they head out after 14 minutes. There we go. Thought I had it somewhere. And try and beat the humans to the line. So the humans have to work together to try and get to the line first. So the concept's awesome. I think it's really fantastic. I think it's been really well received. Lots of different people who were chatting there weren't maybe aware of the whole chase kind of series or the chase races. So that was fun to watch. There's a couple of suggestions that for anyone who's done the race or looking to do the race, there's a couple of things that I thought might make it better. And if you go on to Eric's website, Zwift Insider, he's done a whole article on it as well. So he put his thoughts down about what it could turn into. But essentially, in my thinking, and Rob, you tell me if you've got any thoughts here as well. But the big thing is that, again, the mass start. So you've got a whole bunch of different categories, all starting out at once. And then, and then the big ticket, the big issue there is that then you have your lower categories hanging on for a while and dropping off and then sort of being stuck by themselves.
And they won't all drop at once either, will they?
Correct.
So multi-cat makes more sense to me.
Yeah, and you can see the bots there that are chasing us down. So multi-cat I think would be better. And if you're in the stream there and you've done the race, Christian, I think you said you did it. That last one caught as the winner, he says. I think if they set out so D left the pens first, and then C, and then B, and then A in some sort of delayed fashion, I think would be a better outcome. And then ideally you'd all come together and try and finish at the same time on the line, sort of thing. So that could work well. But I think overall it was received pretty well. And certainly it was a bit of fun. So interestingly, they did program the bots to behave a little bit differently, and I'd like to see a bit more of this as well. Now, we've talked about bots and how smart they are in Indevelo and also in MyWorsh as well, and how they're trying to make the bots feel more human in their kind of responses. So what I didn't realize until I went back and looked at it was that certain bots, they're all the same bot, were getting dropped on the climbs. And so they would do a climb. Really? Yeah. And, there'd be a bot sort of hanging off, not just a little bit off the back, but a lot off the back. So certain bots are getting dropped. Yeah, which was what I thought it was interesting. I couldn't see a reason for that happening, but it was good to see that was a little bit more kind of spontaneous and a bit sort of responsive to what was going on. So yeah, that was interesting.
Yeah, well, hopefully it's the future. Hopefully it's the future. I think for a lot of things like introduction to racing, beat the level A bots, beat the level B bots, to get people into racing where there's not enough people, with 1 watt per kilogram to make regular racing a thing. I think it's the future.
Yeah. And look, and again, we have talked about that, and we've weighed up the pros and cons of having bots in races, bots filling up events, and it's been a pretty common theme, you would say, in Develo and My Whoosh, where people join an event and they go, well, it's just full of bots, so why am I bothering? But at the same time,
I don't get that. I still don't get that. If the bots are good enough, then I don't see a problem with being bots.
Yeah, no, exactly. So it'll be interesting to see if Zwift do more of this and have bots, because they had touted a while ago about having bots, pacer bots in events and doing things like pacing bots going up to Zwift. And so you could try and pace with a bot in an event up a climb, but nothing really had happened. And so I think this is really the first event that I've seen that they've actually done something specifically with bots in mind. So yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how it goes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's the first of a few changes that have been made, which I think are, they really seem to be listening and answering the call. I think of it might be quite late in the day, some might say, but they seem to be doing a few things to improve in racing.
Yeah. Oh, and
at least moving towards it.
Steph was telling me, sorry, just on a side note, Steph was telling me about how, she did basically a TTT in the bot event. Steph?
Yeah.
Oh, is it a he?
Yeah.
Sorry. Why do I think it was a she? Sorry, Steph. So Steph did basically a TTT and was doing some, it's a male. Oh, sorry, mate. I didn't realize. I don't know why I thought there was a. There you go. Anyway, move on. So it seemed to be that there was some pretty interesting responses to the whole thing. Anyway, on another note, moving on, Zwift have disallowed finally Z Power or virtual power users.
Yeah, I mean, it's a vanishingly small percentage who now use it, I think, but we won't go into what Z Power is. It's, if you've got a dumb trainer, blah, blah, blah. It's only like 1% of people, I think, but they do make a big impact when they enter your races. We've all seen it, people getting dragged. If you do a breakaway, Z Power just drags them back. They can't sprint generally, so they don't tend to win races in, say, B-Cat, or even, well, maybe a bit in A-Cat, because they can just drag and drag and drag. It's maxed out at 400 watts, so they just drag everyone along, and it just ruins things. So at last, they've removed it from most of the, all ZRacing, hill climbs, crit racing, epic races. Yeah, so good move forward.
Yeah, I think so too. Yeah. So quite often you see, as you say, these guys are just can smash the front, but it's not so much that they can sprint, but it's just that draggy power they can put out and just sort of leave the front or or break the front apart. And I think it's a good result. Excuse me.
Yeah, I've been racing against this guy who uses a rowing machine, and that's on Z Power. And I did a breakaway on the Classique a week or two ago. Yeah, and he was on the front, like and I know he's on, because I think he even calls himself a grower or something like that. And
was
he
on the rowing machine?
Rowing them back,
just rowing,
rowing the peloton back to me, and I'm like, come on, man.
Yeah,
but he seems a nice guy, and he's convinced that it's harder than cycling, so I don't know. But he's not allowed to do it anymore, so fair enough.
He's not allowed to do it anymore, so he has to actually physically get on a bike now.
Yeah, get on the bike. Yeah, get on the bike, man.
Good morning, Brian. How are you? So that's a good thing. I think it's a good progression forward. listening to the guys on the Spincast podcast, they were theorizing that because now Zwift have started charging more for memberships, that they're a little bit more, they feel a bit more confident in kicking out some of the membership that they were relying on in the past. So
yeah, I think they just want to improve racing, because the other thing as well that they've done is just the kind of what you would think would be low hanging fruit. They've done this, and they've removed the smudge or shadow if you use Ghost.
Right.
And so they've removed the Fire Socks trail and the Ghost, the shadow, which used to give away the fact that you're doing an attack off the front with the Ghost, which is the only point you use the Ghost. There's a shadow and Fire Socks trails left behind. So they've removed that as well. So, it does, these are, we've got the bots, we've got, Z Power, we've got the smudge, that's all done in a week.
Yeah.
So
do you think?
I think Zwift, they're trying. Sorry.
Oh no, go ahead. I was going to say, do you think Zwift have turned a bit of a corner in terms of listening?
I think so, though it might just be, off season. They consider the end of May to be off season, so maybe they had all this planned and they're just like, okay, we've got all this ready, let's do it all now. Or maybe they've just, okay, let's get racing sorted. Yeah. And they have started listening. I did have a conversation with someone at Zwift as well, so they wanted to know what I thought. So maybe they're just starting listening and thinking we need to engage. Because I also had to go on Indie Velo, and it's pretty bloody good.
Hold on, before we move on to that, I just want to say to the people that are listening in the stream there, that you may or may want to not write down, may or may want to write down that the changes that were made in update version 1.66 were to the Ghost Power Up. All right, so I won't say anything more about that, but just make that note.
Okay, 1.66 Ghost Power Up. Okay.
Yeah. And before we get into what you're going to talk about next, also jump along to our Discord channel. The link to that is in the description below in the video. If you're in there, you can keep chatting about stuff. If you've got some suggestions about different topics, different ideas, quiz themes, or guests, these types of things, you can drop them in there. I've also started to put some of the questions that we're going to have in the quiz later on in the show in there as well. So you get a chance to go and do a little bit of research before you jump in. And maybe I'm stacking the deck against Rob. I don't know. I just don't want to do the challenges. So if anyone can win, that's a good thing for me, and maybe not so much for Rob.
I hadn't thought about that angle to it.
Yeah.
You're sneaky.
But so Rob, you're telling me though you caught up with Zwift. You had a bit of a chat with them. What was that about?
Yeah, so primarily about my rant that I did about the how rubbish the anti-cheating is, but also a little bit about the investigation that they've been doing into me. And basically, they've just said there's absolutely nothing wrong with it.
Okay. So they're okay with it?
And yeah, they're okay with it. And anyone else who complains about me to Zwift or WTRL will be told politely to go F themselves.
Right.
In fact, not only politely, and I don't mean figuratively. I mean, literally.
Physically, you can.
Yeah. So, have you ever seen one of them? Have you a pretzeling machine? That makes pretzels out of dough. It's really clever, isn't it? It's like it contorts all the stuff.
Yeah, and you get twisted up.
I can hear Richard eating crisps very loudly, but
the stream can't hear that, Rob. So you got to power through that.
Okay, but it's really loud. So not just figuratively go and F themselves, but go and find a human-sized pretzeling machine.
Yeah.
So that they can actually contort their limbs around themselves and go and F themselves, literally.
Right.
That's what's going to happen if they accuse me of cheating again or complain about me.
Because, I mean, it's a thing, though. And, you do, to be honest, you do such a fantastic job of not only befriending people on Zwift and in the community, and you stream all your rides, and you're in a bunch of different Discords, and you've sort of single-handedly, along with along with one or two other people, set up a whole club, and yet Zwift has sort of played along and said, well, we're unsure. There's been some accusations. We're really not doing much about it. But now they've cleared that air and they've absolutely stated that there's been no impropriety whatsoever.
Yeah. I mean, besides anything else, no one could actually articulate what they thought I was doing wrong. Yeah. Just I think what they're basically getting at was, because when I did the turn my legs and hit those what you call the metal bits that make the thingies go around, I tended to win races quite often, and when they did the turny thing on the metal bits that makes the spiky things go around.
Well, the spiky things with the thing.
They didn't tend to win races. That seemed to be their main point.
Yeah.
So they were like, hang about, you're doing that and I'm doing that and you're winning and I'm not. But there's actually a lot more to it than just the foot thing.
Yeah.
You've got to look at the other characters and work out what they're doing.
Hang on. Well, and look at the screen.
It's actually quite clever.
Keep your head up. And,
you've got to look at the screen, That's advanced level stuff, though.
I don't do that
looking at the screen,
all right. Hey, where are we going? What time are we? We're kicking along. Okay. So
we are.
We're gonna bring Roy in here. So for those that maybe are new to the show and have only seen recent episodes, Roy Imahara, who's an amazing guy and has his own YouTube channel and posts a lot of his races on his channel. We've got a link to his channel in the description below, and I'll paste it in the chat there for those that want to go along and check him out. He was our very, 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 very first guest on the show.
He's the godfather of Zwift YouTubing. Right? He's the head honcho as far as I'm concerned. If you want to know anything, you got to go see Roy.
Yeah. So we're gonna bring him in. I'm just gonna click on the link now, and there he is. Hey, Roy, how are you?
I'm doing great. Sorry, Rob. I think I hope the noise isn't too loud. I unmuted myself here.
Yeah, no. I'm gonna bring you down a little bit.
Bring him down a bit.
Yeah. There we go.
It's great to see you again, Roy. We have asked you lots of times, haven't you? But you've been busy with loads of stuff. So it's not like we've waited 50 episodes to have you back. But we're super glad to have you now.
Thanks to be back.
Thanks for joining us, actually. I was actually...
It's like podcast Inception. We can see ourselves behind it. Look at this level.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah.
I do like how you got your background, your scene behind you is actually quite it's quite podcasty. So much so that I'm actually taking some notes there. So but
he's planning a takeover.
It could be
back there on that big screen. So
it's
way back there, but it's 75 inches.
Right, is that what
you got a bot riding for you? If you
I'm fan viewing somebody. I just started Zwift up, so something's going in the background there.
Nice.
Is that the screen you use for Zwifting?
Yeah.
Oof, that's nice.
Now I just wondered, did we?
It's almost too big.
Yeah.
Ooh, blimey.
Almost too big.
So that's what they say.
What do they say, Rob?
That Roy's thing's almost too big.
Here we go. I found it. Here we go. Now I did have this teed up earlier, but I'll just preface this show by saying that we had some friends over last night. It is 6:32 a.m. here in Melbourne, and here we go. And I've only been I've only been in bed for like a couple of hours, so I'm a little bit shady. But and I had all this keyed up, and then I didn't have it keyed up, so I'm just getting it keyed up now. There we go. Here we are. This is what I wanted to show us. So this is Roy.
Oh, early doors, eh?
Yeah, back in the day. And so Roy joined us, and we're having a chat about his. In that case, it was about his Zwift power and so forth. Is it just me, Rob? Young. I was going to say that. Do we? Is it like? Do we look younger there? You look younger.
There's only Roy who's got younger. What's going on?
Yeah.
What are you doing, Roy?
We've gotten older. But yeah, no, it was fantastic. So there we go. Yeah. So yeah, no, so it's been fantastic.
Since then, Roy's gone like from C grade to B grade to A grade, back to where are you now, Roy? What's been going on?
I'm at B grade. That A grade was a mistake. I had a malfunction in my power meter.
Oh, was it? Oh, okay, right.
And I had Zwift actually nullify that race. So.
Oh, really?
Yeah, pushed me all the way up in A.
What happened?
It was just overreading.
Oh, okay. So you would do it. Hang on, did you win the race or did it just push you up?
Both.
Oh, take the win.
It was a ladder race.
Yeah. Okay. Yep.
And
so the ladder races are the 5 versus 5.
Yes.
Yep. So for anyone that's been in a ladder race, basically you're racing. There's 5 in one team versus 5 in the other team, and yeah, you're going head to head.
Is there anything that you don't race? You do 5 versus 5, chasing, FRR. Did you do everything?
Yeah, I do the time trials too.
Oh yeah, the time trials. I see.
And ZRL, yeah.
I see at about 11 o'clock most days here in Australia. I see your races popping up, and I go and watch them. But it's either time trials or the chasing or FRR. Now you've done FRR series a few times, haven't you?
Yes.
Yeah. What do you think about that? Keep in mind that we've got Rich coming on almost in about 5 minutes. What do you think about the FRR series?
I think it's terrific. I really like the length of the races. It suits my riding.
Yep.
The points racing doesn't suit my riding, so
yeah.
I struggle with the sprinting. So that's always difficult for me personally. But I like the community is really good. You get to know this. You get to meet people who you race against consistently.
Yep.
And that's always a great thing. So
yeah.
We've seen you winning a few sprints lately, though. Is it coming on, or is it just like the situations have been good, or is it a combination of tactics and
mostly tactics? What I tend to look now at the finishes beforehand and where I can attack, and there are some. If you know the course, when you can go early, and like Rob, I mean, you're famous for this. You build up speed beforehand, and even with the weak sprint, they can't catch you. So,
yeah.
And I don't have a strong sprint. So,
no, and neither do I.
Oh, you have a big sprint.
Oh, it's gone. I don't know where it's gone. It's gone somewhere, but I can't find it at the moment. So, but So, what did you think of the Triquetra series on FRR?
It was conflicting with the chasing, and I had to choose this year, so I went and did the chasing. Even though I was not, I'm near the bottom of the BCAT, and so in chasing I don't have that good of a chance. But in FRR I would have been much higher in my category.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I had to make a choice at this year. Have a little bit less time.
What do you think of the Zwift Labs? So we're just talking earlier on about the Beat the Bot series. Have you had a chance to have a crack at that?
I haven't done that. I've seen them with the I was in the middle of the chasing tour this last one, which is a 3-week 3-week series. So I didn't have a lot of extra racing time. So
right, okay.
But I've got a couple of weeks off here. That's something I mean to do. So
you got to give it a shot.
Yeah.
What do you think overall about Zwift developments over the last 12 months or so, and like recent stuff?
I think they're doing a better job, and I think they're responding to the market share. The competition is raising the bar, and I think that's always good. So, the increase in price is, what it is. For me, I'm going to stay on Zwift. I do have IndyVelo installed, and I've used that as well, and I do like it. The Zwift racing community, there's nothing as developed or as sophisticated anywhere,
Yeah.
not even close.
No.
So,
Well, they don't have Rob there either, so that's the reason why.
I'm gonna just start dipping my feet in.
Yeah.
Oh, you did
It's
have
good to look at it.
yeah. So you have done a couple of events on Velo, or
It's been a while, but yes,
Yeah.
I do have it installed on my computer, and I do run it from time
So-
to time. So
do you think it's this is a side note, and I really don't want to start any future arguments about this, but do you think it's a competitor to Zwift?
it could be,
Yeah.
but like I said, it has to do with the number of people on the platform and the social aspect of it. If they can get that uh, up to the level of Zwift, and I think it'd be a viable alternative.
Yeah.
But
I mean, I think they're really concentrating on the serious racers, aren't they? I mean, he even said so on the Zomunique interview.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't care about graphics, don't care about all the other stuff. If you're into serious racing, this is what
that's where it's at.
What I'm concentrating on. Whereas Zwift are trying to do everything, aren't they? They're trying to do racing, casual rides,
Make it a game,
the full works,
workouts. Yeah.
yeah.
Christian Roy Christian wants to know what team are you racing with now, and how awesome are they?
I'm with I'm with On the Rivet race OTR.
Oh,
And they're a great team.
that sounds like a good name.
Yeah, really.
Is that the name after you?
Yeah, yeah.
Dedicated to Nathan.
So the team, I was on a team called the Badger Pack last year, and they merged. They were having the membership was starting to drop, and they're having trouble filling the ZRL teams. So they wanted more members, and we ended up merging with OTR. So
Yeah, okay. Oh, that's a good name. Yeah, actually, just on a side note, when we'll move on and get Rich into the show, but on a side note, I did have the guy that had organised OTR reach out to me a while ago, and we had a bit of a. But do you know the name of the organizer? I've got it in my chats there. But I can go and find it. I just can't think of his name right now, and I apologise if you're watching the show. And he kind of we had a bit of a chat about the name and about what I was going to do with it. And I said, "Oh, look, it's all a singular thing. I'm not looking to start any club. I'm not competing with you guys." And he went, "Tops," and we basically left it at that. Although he did comment that he thought my color scheme was better than his. So I'll take from that what you will. But certainly, it was not a big issue. Jonathan Huber says OTR had a team in my ZRL division. They're good competition, yeah. And certainly, I think OTR also have a bunch of events on Indevelo, and I think on My Wish as well, yeah. So they're looking to really, utilize the platforms that are available. That's for sure. Yeah, there we go. So, next on,
I was just going to very quickly ask, what happened in your 5x5 race? And was it steering? What?
Oh, I was one of the. I think there were only 2 or 3 people with no steering in that one, and there was an attack made. We were on the Muckle Yin, but there's that little corkscrew climb in there, and they attacked on there, and that just about did me in. And I'm just hanging on to the back of the pack. Everybody steered into the corner coming out of that, and I couldn't hang on because
you've got steering, haven't you?
No, I just
have
ordered
you not?
it. I just ordered it, so it's not here yet.
Blimey.
But that was a disaster.
Do you think in the 5 versus 5 races, I think everyone, if you're on a team with someone without steering, you've just got to agree, if you're in the pack with them, just to not go with the other team if they steer, so that it kind of evens out. Do you think?
It's so dynamic. You got to stay. You got to mark the moves. You got to stay with certain people. You look at their power profile ahead of time. There's a lot of strategy involved with that ladder racing, and so you pick the course that the team that's lower in the ladder that challenges the upper division team. They get to choose the course, and And so you pick a course that suits your team's strength and hopefully plays against their weaknesses. So,
because for those that don't know, you do get to negotiate which route you race on, don't you?
yes.
Yeah. So it's not like a foregone conclusion where you just turn up to the event and someone's already picked the route and that's it. As a team, or as the two teams competing, you get to choose which route you race on, and then you go from there. So yeah,
I feel sorry for the team coordinators because it's a little bit like herding cats because you got to pick a time and a date that works out for both teams and all the members, and you got to get 5, and so
it's like
anyway.
it's like running a podcast.
Yeah.
All right.
And everyone turns up with 2 minutes to go.
I know, and I've got a hangover. But Christian's really quite. He's loving this, and he's really in the chat, and he's been talking about about the ladder racing, and so thank you, Christian. All right, so next though, we're gonna bring in Rich Vale. So Rich is the founder, the organizer, the inventor behind the FRR series. Now, for those that don't know, the FRR series, it is seriously the hard. Well, I'm gonna look. Roy, I'm going to go out on a limb here and say that it's probably harder than the Chasing series. I don't know if you agree with that. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. So Rich has already started
Bring him in.
Rich has already started to arc up, and we haven't even brought him onto the show yet. But I think it's the hardest racing series on Zwift. And I recently did the Triquetra. And now we're going to talk about what's coming up. So let's get Rich on the show. There he is. Hey, Rich, how are you? Thanks for joining us.
Well, I'm fine. I am fine, thank you. Yes, I'm a little bit wind up, but there we go. That might help with my colourful metaphors, as Spock would have said.
Welcome back, man.
I'm not sure if everyone else can hear that, but Rich was
just to pick on that last point.
Yeah.
Just to pick up on that last point, if anybody starts telling me that something else is harder, you don't want to see what the next one looks like. You can fight them, can you? Nathan, you don't want to be giving everybody the pain just because you're telling me that
it's not the hardest event. So
something a little bit harder.
Are you suggesting that if I were to play if I was to play it down, you would actually make the next series coming up even harder again?
You got to bear in mind, Triquetra was 21 stages.
Yeah. 21 stages.
How many stages was the Chasing Tour? Now, I love the Chasing Tour, don't get me wrong, but it wasn't 21.
I think it was 18.
Was it?
Yeah.
It was 18 stages. It had the first weekend off for good luck.
Yeah.
And, let's just face it, it didn't. Okay. And there you go. So, but look, I love the Chasing Tour, what John does and everything else in that sort of space, but it wasn't a Grand Tour.
You've got to go to
not 21 stages, not a Grand Tour.
Look, don't get me wrong, mate. I love FRR. Chasing series, anyway, so I did it once. It's definitely not as brutal as the FRR series. But you were telling me quite secretively, if I can be honest, in the chat about 24 hours ago about a new series you got coming up. What is it?
Ooh.
Well, the day we have announced it. We did announce it about what time is it now? An hour and 46 minutes ago, to be
fair.
So if someone goes onto our website, if you go onto our website and look at racing.co.uk,
there it is.
We are migrating to a new one.
There it is.
You've got it there now. So I'm not allowed to call it the Olympic Games.
No, you're not. And why is that?
The IOC will come along and take my children.
Take your children.
Well, the IOC are probably a little bit. Exactly. They'll take my children away. That sort of stuff. And even though they're 24, that might actually be a positive. So we've got the MyTechis Games, esports games, and so it's our Olympic game offering. However, it's quite different.
Tell us about that.
People go to that website down there. The difference about this one is not so much the events that we're doing. Okay, we are doing events very differently.
Yes.
But we're also doing it across platform. So this is probably the first ever series that I've... Go on.
So no, I was going to say,
first ever series
what does that mean?
Go across Zwift.
Yep.
In what way?
Well, no, tell us about the cross-platform.
Cross-platform.
Yeah.
Okay, well, so the first ever series that's really going to go stretch across Zwift, Indie Velo, and My Whoosh. So we're going to put all the events that those platforms can host across those three platforms. So, if we just scroll down, I think maybe you can scroll down your screen or that's just is that a screen capture, or can you actually scroll down?
That's your website. Yeah.
If you just go down there, we've got 17 days worth of events. So 17 days. We've got 15 events. 3 arenas. The arenas are Zwift, Velo, and Whoosh. Now each one has got a different set of functionality, different set of events that they can offer. Now, some people are aware of them. Many people are not. Now, so we're going to introduce that. We're offering the same events across all 3, so you don't have to go onto the other platforms.
Yep.
Hello, Mark Middleton. Thank
you, Mark.
A bit of a love heart going on there.
Yeah.
So and when we look at those events out there, and we'll go down as we go. I'll just go through the page.
Yeah.
We've got track events.
I was a bit confused by that, but
events,
there is an explanation of what a field event is, isn't there?
Go on.
Yeah,
exactly, a field event now, but that just utilizes the functionality that sits within Indevelo. So again, if we just squeeze down there, keep going through track event down there. Here we go, track event. So our track events. So when we watch the Olympics, we've got 100 meters, we've got 200 meters, the reason it's 500 and not 400 is because within Indevelo they have a velodrome track, and it's an outdoor track, but it's 500 meters in length as a course. So rather than try and squeeze we'll just use the banners, use what they've got.
Okay.
So we did that one tonight. We did, and that particular event is 8 events.
Were you seriously doing a 100-meter race?
So.
Oh wow! I love it.
Yeah. 100-meter race back to back. So for instance, the 100 meters, 200, and 500. So if you can imagine those in the Olympics, they would be in lanes, wouldn't they?
Yeah.
You're going to get no draft in lane, so those are little
makes sense,
ITTs, no draft, you go bang. And we'll try and avoid using bots if we can. That is just, you can see the finish line, can you be Usain Bolt? But this is a back-to-back event with all of these. Now you can choose to do some, you can choose to do them all. Yeah. And I did them all tonight at 6:00. And I managed to win the 3,000 and 5,000.
Oh, you're more of a Steve Cram type, are you, than Usain Bolt?
Yeah. But
I think I'm more of a, technically the 3,000 is supposed to be a cheap steeple race, but I can't have a little bit of a jump.
So hang on. So what you're saying is there's going to be like an ITT of 100 meters in distance? Is that what I heard?
Oh, sounds like your kind of thing, Nathan. Unless it's on a hill.
So So you can win a gold medal.
Yeah.
You can win a gold medal, Nathan, at 100 meters, as you would do in the Olympics, but obviously we're doing it on a bike. Exactly. You could be an Olympian based on that 100 meters there. Now,
I get the sense this is where my life has been coming to.
On the schedule a bit later on.
Yep. Go on. I was going to say, I can feel this is where my life has been coming to. Yep. And then
so that and again you could choose to do I'd only do 2 or 3 of those field events. So within Indevelo they have a particular function that says I can do a time challenge event.
Yep.
So the time challenge event is I can set it up for 40 minutes going up a hill equivalent to an outdoors type climb. How far can you get? So that's the high jump.
Nice.
Furthest person goes up, there's your high jump. Just a bit of a high jump, okay.
Yep.
Same with the long jump. It's a bit of a flatter rolling course out there. How far can you get along the course in 40 minutes?
Yep.
Whoever goes furthest wins the long jump. So there we go.
Roy, what do you think,
Roy? A little bit
Roy?
of a twist on those sort of things.
Where do you think your strengths lie, Roy, in doing this?
It's going to be the longer races for sure.
Yeah,
I'm not going to win the 100-meter one for sure.
No, you love to grind on those longer races.
Yeah,
I think you're going to smoke them on those.
Well, let's look at those longer races for Roy a little bit lower down then.
So these are the.
If you scroll down to those road events down there. Yep. So these are the road events that affect. Yeah. So when I look at these, obviously you've got the marathon at the end of the day. So all three platforms can offer a marathon of about 40, 42 kilometers, picking a place there. However, I think one course would be able to do a scratch race. A platform will be able to do a live points race on screen. Yep. So again, I think Indivelo and MyWoosh can both offer a points event that is pointing on screen as you do it. I'd also like to point out, I know you talked about bots earlier on, I'd really like to avoid using bots.
Yeah.
Now, we'll come back to, trying to get people to experience the platforms, but we'll come back to that point, I think, at the end of the day. An elimination race as well. So a lot of these races will use elimination options. So if you don't get, if you're last over the line, you're not going to get to the first line because it's just going to kick you out. So,
okay.
So, and that's where we'll try and do some of those.
Wow.
Mountain bike races. The only place that I can do a mountain bike race is on the gravel of Zwift. So we'll be doing something around there. I'm not going to make platforms do so that they can't natively do.
Yeah.
So therefore, we use the best qualities of each platform that's actually out there.
Is this
triathlon might be different for somebody?
Rich, to
I'm
jump
going to
in
really
there.
try whether.
Sorry, Rich. I was going to ask: is this the first series that I've seen that's got the mountain biking included? Is it like a specific event?
Yeah, I mean it's an Olympic event, isn't it? So a mountain bike is an Olympic event. So, so for me, it's more about what the Olympics offer. Yeah. And what events could we do? I mean, if I could do a swimming event on a bike, it would be interesting, but I think ultimately, it's not. That would be a bit harsh. Exactly. But yeah. So I mean, mountain bike purely because it's an Olympic type event.
Yeah.
Would I put it in a tour event?
I think it's awesome. I think it's a great idea. I think including it is awesome.
But yeah,
no, it's a great idea. And the triathlon?
Yeah, well, it's there as the triathlon. So the triathlon there, that's going to be appeal to certain people. People who do duathlons, but this is just a little bit more.
Yeah.
So you've got the 20-kilometer scratch race. These are 3 back-to-back races. So this isn't sort of do part of it and then come back a day later and do the next part again, just like the triathlon would run. 20-kilometer scratch race, 10-kilometer ITT, 5-kilometer run. Let's accumulate the time.
I know a certain Maltese guy who might fancy that.
Maltese guy, yeah. Darren loves his running. So you would need
Falcon out of James Bond.
Dan Van Dit.
You would need to have a treadmill in that case.
Yeah,
so obviously to be clear.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, you, obviously there are people who that's going to appeal to people who've got a duathlon type setup and those sort of things.
Yeah.
So yeah. So again, it's going to appeal to different riders altogether. I mean, I did think about putting in maybe another type of race, but I just thought no. Again, triathlon has to involve some sort of run at the end of the day, and there is the ability on Zwift to be able to do that, and that's where we'll do with that within the Zwift space. Now, all three places can do an ITT and a road race. That's fine. So there's no. That's just almost like a standard offering of anything out there. But we will use interesting courses to be able to do it. It won't be a typically FRR space, although I think on the road race on Zwift, it's certainly a course that we're going to use the Zwift Games 80-kilometer course. So that's where that one will be.
Yep.
On Indivelo, we're putting together a special course that isn't off the map. So something there that will again will tease people out, and there's a bit of climbing involved. But there's that's a lot more traditional sort of racing.
Rich,
will the 100 meters be a standing start?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, it's basically. I mean, I did tonight. What Indivelo actually does with that one is pretty much sit there and go, right, you're in the pen, it then tries to line everybody up on the line, no matter how many people are in the pen, which might be quite interesting if it gets hundreds, and just goes bang, go,
boom.
So
numbers through the roof.
Yeah, it's numbers through the roof. Yeah, it could do. We could blow the platforms up. In all fairness,
I definitely know some guys that I race with that would love this.
Yeah,
and
I think it's just, at the end of the day, the Olympics are on, typically through the summer. Okay, it's your winter, I think, Nathan, down under. But typically through the summer, as we know, Rob, a lot of people are outside. If we ever get the weather in the UK, but let's not talk about that. And Roy,
I'm
I think,
California.
Remind me, Roy, which part of the world are you in?
California.
For God's sake. Oh, honestly. Okay, well, yeah, like you never get the weather. But exactly. How Zwift was ever born actually in California, where there's no need to ride inside.
To ride indoors, yeah.
Other than the fact of smog and
so, Rich, one question that
but
Jonathan Huber
yes.
has asked is, will there be an option? So the run component, can that only happen on a treadmill, or can you actually do that outside? If you've got like the Zwift pods that you can attach to your shoes, will there be a way to link that up, or you've got to do it on a trainer?
I think you can do the run anyway. Yeah, I think you can do the run anyway that Zwift will pick it up.
Okay.
So if those events allow you to pick it up by running that course by running outside,
then you can do it outside.
It's following the standard Zwift running technique. You could do it outside.
Wow.
So, because I think that's how people do it now. So you're following the course technically on your phone while you're doing it, but then you're just running, whether you're running around the street or whatever. I mean, it's a flat course, so it doesn't matter whether you choose a slightly hillier course outside to go and run. It's a flat course to go and do 5K. So I did get asked, to be fair, James, you are a star at times. But he did say when I set the marathon up, says, should that be a running one? I went, I'm not going to ask people to do a marathon on foot with an FRR. I mean, I'm not that cruel.
Not in this series.
Allegedly. But not in this series anyway.
Yeah,
but
make him run.
What's going on about other series being harder than maybe. Anyway, so
Rich, I did want to ask, like, how did you come up with the idea then of doing all three platforms, bringing them all together under this sort of unique sort of banner idea that you've got? How did you come up with that?
I think it's my long term. It's been a goal for a while, really, to come up with doing stuff cross platform. So we've done so much in the Zwifting world. There are other platforms, arenas as we're calling them, that are out there that are offering stuff. I think a lot of it is for riders to look at stuff and say, look, you've got choice. Some of the technical barriers are disappearing from those other platforms. We've talked about bots earlier, and the right use of bots. Whether it's good to race against bots or it's not against, and those sort of things. A lot of it is about the community. I think Roy talked about the community, about when you turn up, you see familiar avatars, and people that I race against.
Yeah,
you do, and that's part of the draw. But there are other experiences to have. And I think one of our jobs, I see myself very much as a race promoter, organizer, whatever else, and therefore it's a job of mine really to say, look, to try and bring other platforms to people's attention, to try and again, I can only put it in front.
Yep.
Riders will go where they want to go ultimately.
You're kind of like the Don King of e-cycling, I think.
Well, I've got a bigger ambition, I think, ultimately to do, and I'll say this here first, Nathan. You like first, so you can get first again. To do a world tour that is cross-platform.
Actually, going around the world, a whole way around.
Now I will liken it to, and I'll say let's take the Golf PGA Tour.
Yep.
Golf PGA Tour isn't formed from all playing on the same golf course every week, is it?
No.
It's formed from playing on different golf courses every weekend for a year. It's got world finals, it's got country finals, and it comes together. That's what I want to put together, I think, ultimately. And if that means that there are events hosted on multi-platforms that we can all access and we should all enjoy as riders and have the choice to do it, then let's do it.
And so what you're really saying is, find the platform that you are comfortable using, or the events that you want to participate in, and go and participate. I did want to ask though, Rich, how is it going to work in terms of collating all the data? Is it going to all come into one portal, or is it going to be separate portals? Like, would I be comparing myself if I was on Zwift with someone that's doing the same series on Indevelo?
No, they will be separate. They'll be individually resulted.
Yep.
So if you happen to win the marathon with Indevelo, you win it with an Indevelo. Your time's not going to be compared to something that happened in Whoosh or Zwift. Yep. It's just in that space at the end of the day. We're not going to try and mash them all together and that sort of thing. They will be arena specific. We want to use an aligned sort of VLO type scale.
Yeah.
The work that Tim Hansen has done over in the Zwift Racing app. In that sort of space out there, that's quite a key sort of space. We have our 10 categories of chili categories between cap and capsaicin and bell pepper. We've got 10. Zwift Racing app, we've got a nice VLO 10, and a bit of a shout out really for the DRS team. I've probably been absent from their series for a while, actually forever, until this last one. But I really enjoyed racing in it, and I was actually the more competitive in this particular series based on how they categorise things than I thought, really, to the point of my wife thought I was having a heart attack at one point in time, which she can only good because it actually made me compete. So, rather than try and reinvent the wheel, that categorization which they've used, which effectively Tim has pulled together,
he's done a fantastic
a place
job.
that why do I need to reinvent the wheel?
Yeah,
I've got 10, they've got 10, a line. And what I will do is bring the other ones into that same sort of alignment.
Yeah. And Ginger Warrior wants to know whether you're going to be looking down the track at incorporating or including age brackets. Is that something that you've thought about or you've considered?
Ooh, age brackets is a difficult one. I'll tell you why. When people do a what do they call them now? What's the term for age bracket racing? Let's call it masters or whatever else. Yeah. The problem with that is that you look at between 50 and 60s, and within there you've then got A pluses, A's to D's, just because you're the same age group.
Yep.
Now, whether the A pluses are really genuine A pluses or not is another thing, or just very good cyclists at the end of the day. So I think I found and South Africa have done quite a few of these type of series where I've been in them before. I go, well, I was okay, but I look across it and the age group is so widely banded. So I don't think I would, because at the end of the day, you're gonna have age. You got people in the same group that are by age who are top A pluses down to D's.
Yeah, I mean, it's really good fun. Work. It's like a one-off race.
It never works.
Especially when you don't know who you're racing against.
If you're at the top end of it is, Rob. If you're not at the top end of it, then you just shelled out the back
afterwards.
Yeah,
which kind of makes it a bit mysterious.
Rob, you've got a bit of echo on your mic.
Yeah, I suppose so. But I mean, the ones I've done, you jump into a pen because of your age bracket, don't you?
Yeah.
And go, okay, I'm in that there. And then suddenly you find out that you've got 3 A pluses in it. You're going, oh, well, I'm dead.
So Ginger, the reason why Ginger Warrior asked about the age bracketing side of it was because he got beaten by a 6-year-old on the Glasgow crit. So I'm always looking for excuses too. I hear you, Ginger. I know what you're saying. Yep, I know what you're saying. Yep. So I just like to, I like to, in my mind, believe that I was beaten by a whole bunch of 21-year-olds, and so yeah. But Roy, you've got you had the same sort of challenge, don't you? Because you're a young guy too.
I'm over 60.
What?
62 this year.
62. Oh, Josh Harris. Josh, welcome to the show. Rich, Josh is just saying cool announcement too. Mr. Harris. Over 60 this year, is that correct? Roy, is that correct?
What's that?
Over 60 this year?
Yeah, I'm 62 this year.
Man.
Blimey.
Gosh. I want what you're having because you look pretty good. Yeah. All right.
It's cool. We need to move to California. That's what it is.
It might be that. Yeah, it might be the sun actually. I mean, we get a lot of sun here, but it's it's pretty harsh and it's not as nice as the Southern Californian, by the way, not just regular Californian.
It's a nice area, that's for sure. The weather's good.
Yeah. Hey Josh, if you're listening there, are you going to be having a go at this series that Rich has got coming up, or are you going to be just an enthusiastic watcher? Let us know in the chat. Mark's saying it's a perfect way for Zwifters to try the platforms. Is that your thinking, Rich? Like, were you sort of thinking, hey, we want to get a bit more visibility?
Absolutely. I mean, I one, I'm not paid by any platform to put it on their platform. They're out there. They're receptive to the idea to be able to host stuff. We all know that Indie is a developing platform. By the way, I should say, from the 1st of July, iOS, having spoken to George, we expect iOS to be online to be able to just download and use. So people are using Apple phones and that sort of stuff. Apple TV will be a little bit later, but it's there. But equally, so we can use it on PCs, you can use it on Macs, you can use it on iOS from the 1st of July openly. That's what we're aiming to get to. Basically in readiness for the games. We're going to go through a period of training.
Yep.
And those events are going to be programmed into the platforms from June 10th. But really, I mean, I'm putting something out there. I don't think anyone else has ever
tried this.
That says, look, try these other places. A lot of people are using them, but of course, it's not a lot of people as compared to the number one player in the market, which is Zwift at this moment in time. I'm not trying to convert the world. Don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to convert the world. I'm just saying, look, these are out there. There are others. I've started conversations with Be Cool, for instance. So people who've watched the Giro for the last month or so will have seen their advertisements, in between shows on GCN and all that sort of stuff. So again, it's another platform. It's got lots of things on there, lots of features. So I think again, there's lots to be done. I think talking about them in silos won't help. But bringing them out into the open will.
I think there's a lot of opportunity there for I think for some riders who are across all three platforms to try and do the series on all three platforms as well, and sort of compare their results across the different metrics.
Yeah, I mean, as much though, that very base schedule that you're flicking through there in the day is very much say, look, you can try them, compare them, and that sort of just see who turns up. Now, I can't make people turn up, but they are there to say, look, come try, come see. You've heard X, you've heard Y.
I mean, you've got enough committed, FRRers who'll, I'm sure, want to do all of them, won't they? There's got to be those absolute nutcases.
Loyal fan base.
They will do. I mean, And again, I mean,
No.
this series is not so much about doing them. I mean, you could do them all because obviously the way that it's tried to be scheduled, that you could do them all. But it's very much all the events are open. They're not private. They will be on the open app within all of the applications. So you'll need your account. You'll need to log in. You don't need to register with FRR to say, we know about you. It just means that you won't appear in the medal tables and those sort of things. So I think it's very much just an opportunity. Look, there's a set of events that someone's putting on that says, come try it. And,
I think also it's also important
there is no financial barrier. There is no tech barrier.
And it's important to note that for those that are maybe concerned about you don't require dual power meter recording. It's a single power meter. So there's no obligations to have a different kind of setup. You can use your same setup that you're using for whichever platform to use on the other platforms too.
Absolutely, yeah. There's no verification going on. It is a sign up and ride, effectively type approach. I mean, at the end of the day, the games is very much open to everybody, all levels, all genders. Genders are resulted and raced separately, so it's not men and women together. It is they are separate events. So just as you would do in the Olympic Games, it's an Olympic Games celebration at the end of the day, but we're going to offer them across the same events that we can do.
I've got a feeling that the IOC are going to come and bust into our podcast in a minute if you keep saying that word.
Yeah.
We'll get demonetized.
I can say Olympic.
We've still got lots to do. Come on, we need to move on. I'm fascinated as ever, but we need to. We've been going a long time. Should we do the Z Racing or not?
Yes. Let's get into that, Rob. Okay. Talk about the Z Racing.
Okay, Z Racing for June is going to be called Sea Breeze, and it's all breezy routes. They're not very good, to be honest. If I'm frank, a bit boring. The first one's going coastal, which is just flat, and then goes out into the new road. I'll say the new roads. Yeah. And then I've picked out a Zwifty point in each race. So this one is where Dylan Jones did his great attack and got upgraded to a. At the bottom, as you come out of the beachy area from there's a bit of a ramp. It's not much, but there's not much to go at here really. It's about 5k to go, so it's a fair old trek, but there's a bit of bumpiness and a bit of left to right, so you can do your steering if you've got it. That's the place to go in race one. Go coastal, one lap, 18k, so not too half an hour.
Yep.
Next one, stage 2 is on Island Hopper. It has got the sheesh climb in there, and it's from the other direction that we did it recently. But it looks steep there, but it's not really. It's got pitches of like 5-6%, but every time there is, it sort of flattens off afterwards. Very hard to get away. So I would say leave your Zwifty maneuver for right at the end. There's a bit of a bump. Go from about 1k to go up to that bump. Again, it's a bit switchy. It's a bit like meandering into the finish there. If you remember, it's on anyway. And then the third one is Beach Island Loop. So it's it's Watopia, very familiar. So that's coming. You do the S's and then you down the hairpins and then into the tunnel, out the tunnel. So everyone goes at the tunnel. And the clever thing to do, which Ollie Neeson pointed me towards, is follow them up the tunnel, because someone always goes. Someone always goes out that tunnel. Follow them up the tunnel, just draft on them, and then there's a little bump again with about one, maybe a bit more than 1k to go.
It's about 1.1, I think. Yeah.
They'll be shattered. You'll have the break from the park, and you'll boom. And that is a great maneuver. Use the ghost, maybe.
How's it go?
Cracking move.
How does it go? Foof, foof.
Foof, foof. Right past them. And then the final one has got a really good name. It's called I know we should do more of this. Like the worst named route is in this. It's called Going Coastal, which is kind of a dark play on words of going postal, which I don't like at all. But this is the best named route. We don't know what it is yet, but it's called. What's it called? It's a play on Milan San Remo. It's called Mayan San Remo.
Oh yeah, because you didn't have that slide there, so
yeah, because we don't know the route.
Yeah,
but assumedly it'll be something from the Mayan jungle to somewhere else.
Yeah,
not San Remo, obviously.
I'm just bringing up on Zwift Insider. By the way, thanks to Eric on Zwift Insider, we get so much of our screenshots and our information from that website, zwiftinsider.com. But that's, I think, what you're looking at.
I get my route profile from VeloView. I always meant to put a credit on that, but so there's quite a bit of climbing. This one should be, in theory, the most interesting. It's got the most climbing, it's a fair distance, and it's got the best name.
Yep, Mayan San Remo.
Yeah.
That'd be good. Like 219 meters of climbing is not easy in a race format.
Yeah, 219 is that?
That's correct. 219.
Okay.
Excellent, Rob. Thank you very much. Is that all you had to cover on that? Because I want to move on to the
what's wrong with
quiz. Yeah, no, it's a good job. Well done.
Yeah, let's do the quiz. Go on. Rich is on, and Rich is unbeaten in the quiz. Rich has a 100% record.
He does.
Has Roy have you ever won the quiz?
You muted, Roy.
Oh, you're muted. You haven't. Oh man, it's probably not a good week to join. I bet there'll be loads of FRR questions. And
bring it on.
Yeah, bring it on. Rich says. Now, Rob, I was getting some echo coming through from you. I'm going to turn that off.
Oh,
so
really?
Let's see how that goes. But yeah, it should be okay. It sounds better now. I did want to point out before we get into the quiz that's coming up. Hang on, quiz time. That you did your punishment race from last week.
What?
Yeah, so you did the challenge. You didn't win the quiz last week, and so you had to do the And what was the challenge?
I had to ride on the lightweight Mielenstein on Park Perimeter Loop. Not a bad route to do it on, to be honest. But my only chance to win was to go on a bit of a breakaway. But I went too far, and I suffered, and I managed to break up the park and come 10th, so it wasn't too bad. But bloody hell, it was hard.
Is that the worst result you've ever come in a race?
No. I like 40th a few weeks ago. I don't always win.
Don't always win. But there we go, yeah. So 10th. Was it 10th? 10th. There we go.
What?
It was 10th, wasn't it? Yeah. Yeah, well done.
9th on Zwift Bar.
And just put that out there. All right, let's do a quiz. Who wants to do a quiz?
Yeah, me.
All right, let's get this happening. I'm bringing that up on the screen there. So before we get into the quiz side of things, while I'm actually just getting the quiz up and running. So it's a 10-question quiz. For those that are listening on our podcast, I do apologize. There are some video and images that are a part of the quiz. So if you're sort of wondering what we're looking at when there's silence, it's because we're looking at an image trying to figure out what it is to answer the quiz. I will try and explain what they are, but sometimes it's a bit difficult. So I'm bringing that up. Man, wicked echo. Hang on, I'm just going to dial your echo back there, right, Rob? There we go. Yep. Well, I might. Okay. Well, I might.
Is it me?
Yeah. That's right, Rob. Roy, I've dialed your echo cancellation back. A little bit of technical jargon going on there. Okay. So in this week's quiz, I'm bringing it up on the screen. There we go. It's just cranking up. You can join. It is live, so there's no delays here when you get the questions. You can connect in using your device. You may have to browse away from our YouTube or your podcast to do this, but the game pin number is on the screen there, or a QR code. So grab your phone, grab a tablet, and you can connect in. Mark says life goals: finish less than your age or weight. Oh, that's a good one, Mark. I like that. I don't want to do that because then I can't use it as an excuse about why I lost.
It was Mark Milton's birthday this week. Happy birthday, Mark Milton.
Happy birthday, Mark Milton.
So happy birthday, but he's only just subscribed. He's like, I thought he was
I just saw
one
that.
of our mains. I know, like Mark Middleton. I would have thought he was like one of the first 10. If there's any of you, anyone else out there who isn't subscribed, get subscribed now.
Who watches our show on a regular basis.
To play the quiz unless you're subscribed.
Correct.
Get out.
Yep.
Just press the bloody button, man.
Where's the button, Rob?
Whiz. That's all we asked.
Which button? Which button should I be pressing? The subscribe button and the notifications button. Press that.
That's all we ask. We do all this. We're working hours and hours in this bloody podcast, and people can't even be bothered to hit subscribe. That's all we ask. Hit the bloody button. I'm going to check these people.
Yeah, I think we might have to do some verification.
Loud.
Might have to do some verification work.
That's all we ask.
I do like this. Can I just point out that someone's actually joined the quiz as Kathan Krake.
Excellent.
I've finally made it. I've finally gotten someone. We've got Bob Bane. We've got I'm Not Rob Bane. Roy's jumped in.
Win.
Thank you.
If Kathan Krake doesn't win, then you've got to do the thing as well.
Yeah. Oh, I'll do it. Well, do we have any challenges ideas? For those in the chat or after the quiz is done, if you've got some challenge ideas, let us know. I honestly haven't thought of a challenge this week. So
I thought of one.
Which one? What do you got?
You've got to do race blindfold, and you'll find yourself a DS.
Oh, that's a great idea. That's what we're going to do. We're going to do that this week. So someone has to talk you through it, but you can't see the screen.
How about doing a whole race out the saddle?
We haven't actually done it for some reason.
Oh, Rich, we did talk about that. We did talk about doing it out of the saddle, but it turns out it's really hard. Oh. But we could definitely do. I think. I know. Yeah.
Isn't that the point?
Yeah. Well, Rich, not all of us had such a harsh upbringing that we've got to introduce all this
one of the few
torture to the world.
It would be the first time I'd ever choose Fuego Flats for that person.
Yeah. Out of the saddle all the way. No climbing, just flat riding. All right,
okay, the winner can decide. You can use those ideas.
Ben Brown's in there, Uncle Sam, Marky Mark, Peter's there, Old Evo. Brilliant. All right, let's get into this, shall we? All right.
Yeah.
Crack into it, Rob says to me. How well do you know Zwift? So general questions on Zwift, multiple choice. You guys know the drill. All right, what is the name of the first route of the June Racing Series? I've forgotten, actually. I don't remember what it is. All right, going coastal. Oh, I tripped some people up there. I like that. That's a good.
They really don't listen to me. They tend to listen to you.
Yeah.
I'm staying to the lead.
I've got such a nice.
I've become a breakaway specialist.
Yeah.
This is what's going on. I'm going straight from the gun now.
I should add that if you're new to the quiz, it's both a challenge to get the answer correct, but you've also got to do it fast too. The faster you do it, the more points you get. All right, question number 2. Here we go. In the Beat the Bots events, how much of a head start do the humans get? Is it 8 minutes, 10 minutes, 12 minutes, or 14 minutes? I think I covered this off earlier on the show.
You did.
Thank you very much, Rob.
No excuse.
Correct.
I'm pretty sure I got this one wrong.
Oh no, Roy.
That's it, Roy. I'm going to have to dump you from the show now. Zwift is still in front there. It was 14 minutes, although they are looking at maybe changing that too, by the way. Which power-up received a correction in the most recent update, 1.66? Aero, burrito, ghost, or anvil.
These so much. I repeated them over and over, like helping everyone else out.
Yeah. Yeah, I think you should be quiet because you're on the line here. Yep, the ghost. Everyone. Oh, someone got that wrong though. I do like that, but most people got that right. So, Zwift, you're still in front. And I should point out that Rob does not see any of these quiz questions. I do it in secret in a protected folder that he can't go and snoop at later on. So, just so if anyone's wondering.
Oh, Uncle Sam. I don't know Uncle Sam.
All right, question number 4. Glyph Heights, one of the new climbs to be released in June, has how much elevation? 345, 454, 543, or 534 meters. If you
are dastardly just mixing up those digits.
If you're a member of our Discord channel, I gave you this question about 12 hours ago, so you have no excuse for getting this one wrong. MVDP's moved up.
But you're so dastardly. I nearly clicked the wrong one because it's just the same digits mixed around.
I know. Oh, gosh. And if you're dyslexic as well, that's even worse. The FRR series upcoming series is called what?
I think I've broke their will to chase now. I think everyone's given up and just like fighting for second place.
Which I do like. Well, actually I don't because I've got to do the quiz, the challenge.
Oh, so MVDP's coming
he's still
back.
there.
Oh.
Kathan's coming up. Come on, Kathan.
Oh, he is. Yeah.
He's not far behind. We're only halfway through this. All right. Question number 5, or question number 6. Sorry. How many events are there in the new FRR Myticus series?
Oh no! I thought it was 17.
No.
Oh no!
I thought they'd get a few people. Oh, Uncle Sam's moved up. Uncle Sam's moved up. Good work. That's what I want to see.
Is it Sam Atkinson? Who is it?
Yeah. All right. Question number 7. Zwift have banned the use of what in the Zwift-owned races? Is it the virtual gears? Is it e-bikes, dual power meters, or virtual power users?
I think they've long banned some of them. So it could technically be 2. I think they banned e-bikes a while ago.
Yeah. All right. Now Rob's still in second.
Sketching away from me.
Come on, Uncle Sam.
My breakaway's falling apart.
Yeah. Although I do like the idea of doing a blindfolded race with a Discord, with a DS. That's actually quite a fantastic idea. All right, next question. I think you could
win if I did it for you.
Yeah, I probably could actually. Which climb portal route has the most elevation? Is it the Col de Gilibert, or the Col de Madone, Rocacorba, or the Col de la Kululu? How do you pronounce that?
I don't know actually.
Yeah.
Kuya?
But it is the last one because that's the current one that's coming up in the calendar.
The Galibier you did manage to mangle though. That's
I did.
A famous one.
Yeah. Galibier. There we go. Thank you. Oh, Rob's moved back to the front.
Final surge.
Come on, guys. Got a lift here. Got to push for the front. All right. Question number 9. What route is the name of this Watopia profile? Hilly Route Reverse, Whole Lot of Lava, Downtown Titans, or Climber's Gambit?
Oh, no. Oh, messed it up.
How'd you get that one wrong?
Oh, no, I didn't. No, I didn't. Oh, phew.
All right. This is not looking good for me, is it? This is not looking good for me.
Only MVDP can save you, really.
Yes, he can. The last question doesn't have double points, so it is regular points. So I think I might be stuck with doing the challenge this week, but we'll see how we go. Question number 10. What is the name of the red Robo Pacer?
I think I might go wrong. I don't know.
Constance, Arnold, or Jacques? Oh, I love it. I love it. I've tripped up so many people. This is good. All right, who's going to win? Uncle Sam third. Congratulations, mate. Well done. And second is MVP, which means I'm doing the challenge this week. Well done, Rob. Well done. Do I have claps? I've got that. There we go. Good work.
Oh, Nathan, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I've got to do
Sorry, man.
So
I tried to help them as much as I could. I repeated the answers.
Yeah, you did. You did a great job. So the challenge is going to be that I'm going to do the first
I get
race.
to choose. I get to choose.
Oh, you do, yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, blindfold.
So I'm going to do the race blind. So this is the first race of the ZRacing series for June. Which route is it again, Rob?
It is going coastal.
Going coastal. I had to do it blindfolded, and the only way I know what to do and when is with someone that's going to be DSing, and that I'll be able to listen to.
Yeah. Find yourself a DS. You could have a group if you like. I mean, I'd love to do it for you if you can work it out.
We'll organise it. What we'll do is we'll put it on the Discord channel when I go to do it, so that anyone who wants to join in, they can, and they can participate, and everyone can shout instructions at me while I'm blindfolded.
Sounds great.
It'd be even if there were sprint segments or foul segments in there, I think that'd even be more interesting. But
I think that'd be a bit too hard.
Yeah, I think it's going to be good. Yeah, it's going to be good.
It's not a bad route for it though, because it's flat, and then just
although it is a little it's a little bit lumpy. Like when you go past the desert town and you go sort of left, it's around the roundabout. It gets a little bit.
How it works out. I don't know how hard it. I mean, I did hear there was someone who lost their monitor, wasn't there, in a WTRL TTT.
Yeah,
and his teammates, kept him going. Ease off.
Oh, okay.
And he did go all the way to the end. Oh, it might have even been a ZRL. Do you remember that story, right?
Yeah, I remember that one.
What happened there?
What was it, ZRL or the TTT?
I don't recall the race format, but there was somebody who completed the race without a screen.
Wow.
With help on Discord.
Without saying what they were doing, yeah. That's really fantastic, isn't it? That's like metaphorically, that's the same as someone breaking a chain and everyone else sort of pushing them back, to the end of the ride.
Yeah.
It might have even been one of the FRR races.
Well, that's not surprising then.
Wow. Okay.
That's Rich is not only breaking spirits but breaking hardware as well.
I'm afraid I'll have to quote the disclaimer that we have we're not responsible for people's hardware and breaking it at any point in time. It's really the small thing.
It's a fair amount of wear and tear you've caused.
Hang on. So we've just been asked in the
stream
I
think on the DS.
Yep, go ahead.
I was going to say, I think on the DS front that you've talked about there, I think the most ambitious thing I've ever done really was actually be racing a TTT in the WZRL series while DSing the ladies' team at the same time. So of my wife, who was actually on the next bike, so I could see where they are, and so that was a.
I was thinking I might.
That was a bit
might
bizarre.
race it.
I was actually
the
sometimes
B
telling
race
people,
and get whilst DSing Nathan in the C race.
Well, because it's just getting too easy for you now, is it, Rob?
Whilst also being blindfolded.
Yeah. That would be fun. All right, guys. I think we've spent enough time. I want to say, Roy, thank you very much for joining us. It's been wonderful. A year after your very first guest appearance on our show. Rich, fantastic news about the new event coming up. Everyone that is interested in this, the website is in the description below. It is flamrougeracing.co.uk, so you can go along there and check it out. Rich, can they sign up through the website too, or do they have to go to the flamrougeracing.com website to get into this?
No, it's just normal sign up via the platforms. So there's no real sign up to do at this point in time. So we'll open registration within our own site if you want to be part of the medal tables. That's from the 1st of July. But at this moment in time, we've got open events scheduled in platforms from June 10th. So just use the relevant platforms to go and just join events and try things out.
Brilliant.
So that's
thanks, Rich. Sounds superb.
I'm definitely in on that one. So yeah, thanks, Rich. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for the announcement. Evil Steph says 26:37 is the time to beat for the ZRacing race for going coastal. So there we go. I don't know if I can do that, but we'll give it a shot. All right, guys. Thank you very much. Rob, bring us home, buddy.
Yeah, well, great to have two wonderful guests, two of our favourite people, and get yourself out the saddle and in the drops.
Thanks to everyone watching, and we'll catch you next show.
Oh no, don't thank them.
Bye. See you later.